Hi, and welcome to the Fall 2013 semester. This is Introduction to Sociology, SOC 101, and I'm Sarah Martucci. I'll be your instructor for this semester. I'm a CUNY student myself. I'm doing a PhD at the Graduate Center in Sociology, and I'm excited to teach this course and teach you all about sociology this semester. So once you're on the home page in Blackboard, I'm just going to talk you through the setup of the class. Once you're on your Blackboard homepage and in the Fall 2013 Sociology class, you'll see that the first thing is the announcements page. So each week I'll post on here just a little bit about what's due that week and what the topic of the week is. And you can see that for this week I've basically posted a written version of this orientation that I'm giving you now. The next tab is the Faculty tab, which just gives you information about myself. This email address is the best way to contact me, prof.sarah01@gmail.com. I check that several times a day, more frequently than I check the CUNY email. I've also listed my phone number here. If you want to talk about assignments or some issue that you're having with the readings, and you want to talk about it in real time, a little more of a conversation than an email, you can call me at that number, but I do ask that you set up an appointment via email first. In the Information tab is going to have all the basic information of the course. So you've got your syllabus here, which we'll go through together in a minute. The course description and learning objectives, which you can read yourself. They're also on the syllabus. Let me scroll down here and we have a folder called Rubrics. This is very important. You should take a look at this week. It basically tells you how I'm going to grade the course. So the discussion board guidelines are really just sort of etiquette and rules for the discussion board. The discussion forum rubric is how I grade the discussion board, and the same for the e-portfolio and the essay rubric. We'll be talking about all of these individually. But basically, your grade for this course comes from the discussion board or the discussion forum, which is essentially your class participation. The e-portfolio, which is some mini assignments that you're going to do each week and builds up a portfolio. And then your essays, there'll be 3 of them, 2 smaller essays and then 1 sort of research paper at the end. Going back to the information section, there's also a link here for your required books. You have a textbook. This is the site for the textbook and also the ebook that you can use instead of purchasing the actual textbook, and also the Kite Runner, which is a novel. Both of those can be purchased online at the SPS bookstore. And there's another link with some course policies. This is information and contacts that are handy for SPS students. And at the bottom is ASA format. So this link actually goes to a website that teaches you how to write your references in a sociological format. So anytime you want to talk about a reference or quote from another book or article or your textbook in an essay or on the discussion board, you're going to need to put that reference in ASA format. So this link down here will tell you specifically how to do that. The next tab down are the weekly folders, and this is basically going to be your home base for the course. So I'm just going to turn this off. These are all of the weeks, but for now all you need to see is week 1. So week 1, the theme is what is sociology? And each week you'll have learning objectives, and then you'll click on that and you'll come in here where I've got a to-do list for you, readings, and any assignments that you have. So your to-do list this week includes ordering your books, reading through the information tab in the syllabus and all of the course info there, visiting ePortfolio, which we'll talk about in a second, posting on the discussion board, just a quick introduction to who you are. You'll post on the ePortfolio and you'll check out the textbook site. So for this week, you're going to be, in addition to writing a quick post on the discussion board about yourself, you'll also add something about yourself to the ePortfolio, and you'll also write a short response for what is sociology. So that's a reading that you're going to have here, what is sociology, and then you're going to respond to it on your ePortfolio. We'll talk more about that in just a second. So the materials folder has PowerPoints for the chapters in your book These aren't required reading. They're just sort of a little extra in case you need help with some of the concepts or you just want to understand more about what you're reading. The essays folder is empty right now because I haven't assigned any essays, but when I assign your essays, there will be a link in the weekly folder for that week, and then the essays will be put up here with the due date and the instructions for the essay. And the discussion board, again, that's basically where your class participation or your discussion for the class comes from. So each week our course is going to start on a Monday, and that's when your weekly folder will become available. So the course starts on a Monday, ends on a Sunday. You have until Thursday, so you have a few days into the week to post your first discussion board post for full credit. And then you need to respond to 2 other people's posts as comments by Sunday. So to get the full 10 points of the discussion board, you have to do your own post and then also comment on others' posts. For week 1, you don't need to do the comments. The post itself is fine. So for most weeks, some weeks we'll skip it, but for most weeks you'll have a discussion board that you come on here and write on. And then we also have asked the professor any general questions you have. More specific questions should go to my email, but any general questions you have about the class, if there is a link that's not working or you can't find something, that can go here because chances are if you have that question, 4 other people in the class also have that question. I can address it all at once here, and you can also help each other out. If you're new to online learning, you might be new to ePortfolio. With the link for my course, with the link for the ePortfolio that you're going to get from the CUNY staff, they'll give you instructions on how to create your ePortfolio. It's a fairly simple process. I have a template which you'll see when you log in and when you create your own. I'll just go to it now for a second. So this is what the ePortfolio is going to look like. This is my template. So you're going to add your own content, and all of the instructions are both on the Blackboard site under ePortfolio and also will be sent to you. But you're basically going to be adding all of these things. The About Me and the Social 101 is really just giving you information about this ePortfolio and the deadlines. About Me is going to be basically a longer version of your first discussion board post, which is just introducing yourself to the class. And in each successive week, there will be an assignment in the weekly folder that correlates with this. You'll just click on that tab and you'll edit it and add your own content. And again, that'll be a little bit more self-explanatory once you go through the ePortfolio training and once you look at that ePortfolio orientation. Kicked me out for a second here, so I just have to go back into our class. Okay, so beyond that ePortfolio information, again, there's just a few links here. There's also contact info for Sarah Morgano, the woman who runs ePortfolio. I'm just going to take us really quickly through the syllabus as well. And you can open this up yourself and print it out and look at it, read along with me. So again, it's just the basics, course description, learning objectives, things that you would always see on a syllabus. Here are the course texts. Once again, this is basically a hard copy version of what's in the information tab. These are some online data sources. You do not need to worry about this right now. We'll be using these throughout the semester, and you'll be given the links and prompted to use them. This is just letting you know that these are the ones we're going to be using. Now this is important. This is the evaluation of student work. This is how I get to your final grade at the end of the semester. It says here that you should plan to spend about 9 to 10 hours per week for this course. And this is what your grade is comprised of. So there's the discussion board, again, and it'll say it later on in the syllabus. You need to be posting by Thursday to get full credit and commenting on other people's work by Sunday. So it's 10 points each, and that makes up 30% of your final grade. So it's almost a third of your grade is the class participation. The first essay is kind of low stakes, 10%. It's out of 100 points, but it's only worth 10% of your grade. Essay 2 is a little bit more, 15%, and the final project moves up to 25% or a quarter of your grade. The e-portfolio I'll check out at the end of the semester when we're wrapping up, and that will be 20% of your grade, so that adds up to 100 together. And this is just the basic grade ranges, how I assign a letter grade based on the score that you have. And again, this is just some more fine detail about how the discussion forum, the e-portfolio, the essays, and the final project will all play out. Then in the beginning of class, we're going to take a few weeks to go through the basics of sociology, what is sociology, how it was developed, and its relationship to culture and society. After that, your first paper will be due, and we'll have a week there where you're just focusing on the paper. Next up, we'll be looking at some different research methods in sociology, and we'll move on to gender, urbanization, and inequality, some major themes within sociology. You'll have another catch-up week to write paper 2 and also finish the novel The Kite Runner. And then we'll wrap up with race and ethnicity, religion, and politics and government towards the end. Your final project will be due on December 22nd, and there'll also be the e-portfolio due that day, and extra credit will be due the week before, but I'll announce that later on in the semester. So this is basically how the course is going to work. The e-portfolio assignments and the discussion boards will basically all lead directly into the essays. So there's a lot of scaffolding going on. There's a lot of building up from the smaller assignments to the larger ones, and hopefully it will be a cohesive course for you, and you'll learn what sociology is all about. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you this semester and meeting you all on the discussion board this week.